Welcome to today's Youth Council meeting on February 8th, 2023. It is 11:51 a.m. and I'm going to call this meeting to order. So first, I'm going to take attendance. Just say here when you hear your name. Okay. Ahmed Othman.
Here.
Ali is not here. Allah Othman.
Here.
Dhruvi Upman.
Here.
Is Elizabeth on Zoom? No. Juliana Spalding.
Here.
Madeline Naper.
Here.
Matt O'Brien. No. Maya Pollock.
Here.
Olivia Wall.
Here.
Paige Arkansas.
Here.
Sadie Lomnack.
Here.
Sophia Panaghetti.
Here.
And Thomas Baronato.
Here.
Okay, is there anyone from the public wishing to speak? No. So next on our agenda is the approval of meeting minutes, but Ali is not here, so we'll wait and save this until our next meeting. So next on our agenda is the liaison spotlight for veteran services. Dhruvi, would you like to do your presentation?
Yes. So, today we're gonna be.
Remember speaking.
Oh, today we're gonna be doing a PowerPoint on my spotlight. So, the Veteran Service Office focuses on issues that pertain to veterans, and you can locate them on 30 Converse Street. And if you wanna talk to anyone, the main point of contact is Mr. Mungan. So some recent things we've done is the Wreaths Across America distribution on December 17th. We did it at the Forest Glades Cemetery, and we put across 435 wreaths at the Wakefield's veterans grave sites. And we're always willing to accept volunteers. And a couple weeks ago on January 21st, I attended a coffee social at the Quantapowhat Yacht Club on Linda Road. We discussed about veterans issues. Some of them were eligibility for the caregiver program, chapter 115 as well, strategies for anti-war initiatives in town, and we want to increase awareness and just respect veterans issues. So some upcoming things we're doing is the trip to Florida, which a yearly trip to visit memorial sites and monuments. We want to bring in some high school students who are eligible to go on the trip. We want to spread the word and get students involved early, and that's the email. And it's funded by the Veteran Service Office, except for the plane ticket. Some other things we've been talking about and doing is combating drug issues in veterans and also the teenage community. And if you're interested in joining the military on the trip to Florida or helping veterans in need in the caregiver program, just email me or Mr. Mungan and just get involved. And yeah.
Okay, are there any questions or comments about the presentation? No.
Dhruvi, what did you find interesting about attending the coffee social?
That I could talk to veterans that like have actually like firsthand experiences, and it's just kind of cool to like talk with older people as well.
One thing that the chair of the Veteran Services called me after Dhruvi came to the social and was very excited about the Wakefield Youth Council and getting more connected and finding ways to connect students that are thinking about the military to current veterans, and that there are a lot of opportunities. Like there's a free summer camp at some of the service academies, like the Naval Academy and stuff. There's some other opportunities that they'd like to get more of the word about. So they said they'd like to come to a presentation. And then I also connected them with the guidance office. So they were able to go, they're going to set up a meeting and go in there. But thank you so much for starting that conversation. And then maybe you can set up a time with Vanessa for someone from the Veterans Services to come here and talk about some youth opportunities.
Yeah, that would definitely be great if we got another presentation. Was there anything else?
Yeah, one more thing for me is that they emailed the high school about like the trip, and I don't know if they responded. So if you could like, I guess, tell other people or spread the word, that would be good.
Yeah, so we did follow up and we found out that there might have been the email address might have not been right. So another guidance counselor I emailed and they've been in touch with the chair.
Yeah, I think actually juniors, or at least I received like an email about the trip, I believe. So I think they are starting to like spread the word about it.
Got it.
Oh, that's good to know. So Drewby, your hard work paid off. So they did get an email to the juniors. It was short notice, so.
Yeah, it definitely was. Were there any other updates for other liaisons? Juliana.
I'm the liaison for the Safety Working Group. One of our main goals is to make our town just a little bit safer for pedestrians. and bikers. I just wanted to say that we noticed there were some new crosswalk signs out. So we're definitely moving forward. There was one in front of the WMDLB building, just past the church and Prospect Street intersection. One further down at Wynn Street, and then a third one across from Wolcott Street. So we're making some progress.
Juliana, are there any other projects that are up and coming with the Safe Streets Working Group?
Aside from like the high school and the Rotary, or talk of a Rotary being put in, just making North Ave and Main Street safer in the Envision plan. We definitely have some pretty big goals, like making bigger bike lanes or safer bike lanes and sidewalks.
Great.
Sounds good. Ahmed.
So I'm liaison on the school committee, and I just wanted to give a quick update about what was happening with the student representative role. So I think it was 2 weeks ago, I met with Ms. McLeod and Dr. Lyons to discuss this more, and Ms. Trafficante, and they were really on board with the idea. And today,
Can you kind of back up and remind everyone what it is that you were trying to present?
so basically, when I first sorry about that. But when I first was a liaison to the school committee, one of my first meetings with Mr. Fontanelli, I asked him about the current student representative position. And he said that the current student representatives were kind of like on Zoom, didn't get a lot of time to speak, didn't get as much of a role as they could have. So I kind of wanted to try to get them a better role, better representation in the school committee. And I talked to Mr. Fontanelli a lot of times, and we finally formulated a pretty solidified plan. And then I went to the policy subcommittee meeting to get their opinion on it first, to see if this was even a feasible idea. And once I kind of met with them a couple of times, we kind of figured out a plan. I then decided to take it to Dr. Lyons and Ms. McLeod to see what their opinion of it was, as they're two of like the highest administrators that would be able to fast forward this plan a lot more. And they were fully on board with it. And they even offered to help me set up a meeting with Ms. Trafficante to meet with the current student representatives to see where they stood on this issue. And today, in the morning, I got to meet with Ms. Trafficante and the student representatives, and no one really had any objections. So we are going to go forward with this and potentially even try to like pilot this year.
So what would that look like for the student representatives on the school committee? How would their role change?
So currently they are strictly on Zoom. They will come into the beginning of the school committee meeting, give a quick 2 or 3 minute report, and then kind of just leave, because they're not really like involved. They're not really, I don't want to say wanted, but they're not really like felt as if they're needed.
Or active
Or, yeah,
participants in the
Or
process?
actively participating. So it doesn't really make sense for them to stay. It's kind of an issue. But what it would look like is that we would expand the student representative positions from 4 to 5, adding one underclassman representative to better represent the whole entirety of the school instead of just the upperclassmen. And there would be 2 students at every meeting. We're still deciding if they're going to be on a rotating basis, or if they're going to be 2 set students, but they would physically sit at the school committee live and in person. And they basically do everything that a school committee representative does, except for vote because student representatives is a non-voting position. So they'd get to be involved, they would get to debate, they'd get to give student opinion on different aspects. And overall, I think it's just a better position.
Okay, yeah, that definitely sounds really good. But also as the student representative, we can go in person too, like we're welcome to do that. But with like conflicting schedules, sometimes it's difficult to like come in person and things like that. So a lot of times we opt into just doing like the Zooms. I think Ms. Traficante also added for like having like student opinion and things like that. So instead of just giving like the like happenings and like school news, I think she said that we would also maybe have like a segment for more of like student opinion to like bring to the rest of the committee too. So I think that would be a really good addition.
So would the students actually, the student representatives actually sit at this table?
2 out of the 5 would come to each meeting and physically sit with the school committee members.
Great. So when they're talking about things like later school start times or other things, English curriculum or
Yeah.
things like that, they would be able to participate in discussion.
Yeah.
That's great. That's what it's all about. Youth council, bringing those things.
Yeah, I think Ms. Traficante also mentioned that like, I think 4 years or so ago, like they did have a seat at the table, but I don't know like why they got rid of it, but they definitely did it in the past. So it's kind of interesting to know.
Yeah, I think she said just like the transition to COVID and then back kind of just messed up their schedule and just kind of laxed out the position.
Yeah, but we have seen that come up with discussions and topics that concern students to have the student voice as part of the conversation. And obviously, 2 students don't represent all students, but they can kind of
Yeah.
act as liaisons. That's great.
Were there any other updates from other liaisons, Madeline?
This is kind of a quick update, but I am the liaison to the town council and I'm going to be giving them an update on Monday at their meeting. And I wanted to see if there's anything, I'm planning on touching on the Snow Angels project and our social medias and what we're going to be doing to just in general, like what we're actively working to do. And I was going to ask them what they're looking from us, but I want to see if there was anything that other people wanted me to bring up at that meeting.
I think on the topic of like social media, I know Ollie has been working on like having a calendar and working with Jen McDonald, right? On like the social media. And I think we've made a lot of good like improvement on all of our platforms. So maybe like mentioning that. And then definitely like the Snow Angels, like you said, or even mentioning like Drewby's presentation and kind of what's been happening with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Anything else you think that Madeline should add?
I think what we just talked about, that would be a really exciting update.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I don't know when we're getting like the merchandise in, but it would be really cool if like Madeline was able to wear it when she goes. So I don't know if that would be a possibility, but that would definitely be cool.
Right, when's the meeting? Monday?
Monday.
Okay, I'll send an email to the Peace Stop right now. I know the order's been placed, so.
And was there anything else you wanted to add, Madeline?
I don't think so. I haven't, since their meetings tend to run really long, I've had a lot of conflicting schedule issues this year. So I'm excited to be able to, this will be the first one that I'm going for like the full thing and I'm planning on coming in person. So
Nice, yeah. Okay, so we'll move on to the Snow Angels project. So I think it's been going pretty well and we've had a few more signups for senior members. So still, if there are any more volunteers that we could get, they're definitely more than welcome to join the project. Catherine, did you have any updates?
No, I just, because it is a youth council project, I had to assign almost most of you Snow Angels, which I know was a little bit of a shock, but we had you know, it's either, like I said in the email, it's either you can do it or find someone to take that snow shoveling responsibility. And so far, no major snowstorms. We've had a couple light shoveling weather incidences, but nothing too bad yet.
I also emailed Miss Delori and spoke to her in person the other day. And she said she'd be happy to repost the houses that still need, like seniors that still need help. Cause I had sent her the list that I think Vanessa had sent to me. So she said she would post that on the NHS classroom.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
great.
also, I'm pretty sure posted on the guidance has like a classroom of jobs and volunteer hours. So it's posted on numerous places now, so.
That's great. And one thing is, to be fair to all of you, last year when we piloted the program, and Juliana, I think, how many houses did we have? Maybe 14 or
It was
so?
definitely somewhere around 14 or 15.
Yeah, and now that's almost doubled to, I think it's over 35 or 36 now.
I
So,
think so, yeah.
yeah, so it's a lot.
I was just wondering, last year, did you find the seniors first and then the kids, or was it the kids and then the seniors?
So what happens is the seniors sign up through the Council on Aging, through the director, Karen Burke. And so they reach out to their office. And so we don't recruit the seniors. They go to the Council on Aging saying, I need assistance. And then we share a spreadsheet with them. So then they give us the address and then we have to match. So last year was Juliana kind of working to match all the, so we actually have a Google Maps of all the snow shovelers and all the seniors. And then we kind of link them up and see who lives closest to who. So it's something to think about. It is a lot of work and a lot of responsibility. So that will be something at the end of the year if we decide that the youth council wants to take on again next year, because it is a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I think there might be a updated list of ones that still need it, because like you said, you assigned some to like council members. So maybe if Catherine, you could like send out an email or something.
Yeah, do you want me to send it to Miss Delori? And see, or do you want me to send it to you?
If there's additional,
Yeah, because some of the youth action team actually just signed up. So
Oh,
we're gonna
yeah.
match them. So, but
um,
then 3 new seniors just signed up last week. So
okay,
we
Yeah.
probably have about 4 or 5 that need.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe some Delori and she can repost it. And if she doesn't get back to you, I can talk to her in person. too.
Okay, all right, great.
Okay, Madeline, was there anything new with the communications subcommittee?
Yes, so we kind of met briefly. It was more of just like a conversation because we didn't meet quorum, so, and there were some immediate things that we needed to discuss. But we're still moving forward with making the Instagram reels that are kind of touching on the new high school project before the special town election. We talked about using CapCut or another app or method to show what it's like to be a student there, see what like we're discussing making some things that included whether it's quotes from or like short little interviews from different teachers discussing like what it's like in their classrooms or just what it's like to kind of work in that environment. And we were thinking like, yeah, they're using either an interview style, like short videos or quotes. We were also looking at doing some voter registration work before the election. And we are doing posts for Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, which we just posted our first post today, kind of announcing that we're going to be posting statistics and just general information regarding that topic. And finally, we're preparing a new youth interest survey to be sent out to the student body at the high school to collect information about what the youth want to see us do. And that will go out later than discussed, likely March, pending further discussion. Yeah, I think that was about it, but we're still looking for ideas too, if anyone has anything for different reels or posts that we can do mainly about the high school in particular, just spreading information. Because while we can't endorse getting a new high school, we can spread facts and information about it. So
Mhm.
that's about it.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I think for like the Google form for like the students, it would be great if you guys could like make a kind of like a mock-up or something and then share at like whatever meeting is coming up next, and then maybe get some like opinions on what to add or changes to that. I think that would be really good. And also, using Ahmed from the school committee, I think you guys could maybe like work together, since it is kind of like a school issue.
Yeah, I know Ollie's still putting it together, so I'm not sure when we'll have that, but I can definitely talk to him about getting it for the next meeting.
Yeah, definitely. Or whatever meeting, and yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't, yeah. Were there any other comments?
So, for the teen dating violence, posts, are you at all collaborating with Wakefield Alliance Against Violence on that?
We're not currently, since we the idea kind of came up very suddenly, and then it was February, and now we're in the month that we're hoping to post it. But do you think that that's something we could still reach out to them about doing some posts
Absolutely.
later
I
in the
think
month?
they would love, they reached out to me about collaborating with you all on that, so they would love that, and I'll give you their email. And then I also know that they want to, March is White Ribbon Month, which is men and young men standing up to domestic or to dating and domestic violence. So they wanted to see if any male youth council members wanted to participate in that. Or any youth council members.
Did you have any updates, Madeline, about like linking the accounts to the Facebook or doing scheduled posting, things like that?
Yes, so I have figured out how to link the two accounts. I just need to be added as an admin and figure out how to sign into it.
Because I think I sent you an invite to be like an administrative or position or something on the Facebook, and
Okay.
that's through your personal account.
So I'll sign into my personal account and then be able to.
Yeah, you should
that?
be able
Okay.
to see like I sent you a request, so I think you should be able to see that.
Okay, I can try and do that later, but I figure out how to link the post so that it posts to both places. So once I get into that, we'll be able to do that. And Ali set up the posting calendar, and that's been going really well so far. And it just has like what to post, the picture and the caption. And
Mhm.
we have posts scheduled for the next couple weeks, and still it's something we're gonna continue to add to and update.
Nice. Yeah, that's really good. Okay. Were there any announcements that anyone wanted to make or any like updates? Just in general now? Um, so next would be determining the next meeting date, but I think we'll be sending out a doodle poll, right?
Yeah, so the way things fall, I just want to check in with everyone because we've got 2 weeks. So not next week, but the week after is school vacation. So we probably would not meet that week. So, and the next in-person meeting, is it the 8th or the 15th?
I can check.
Does anyone have the school calendar up? I can see.
I think it's the 15th.
Okay, so we could meet that. We'll aim to meet that first week back from school vacation on Zoom. So I will send a doodle poll out. And Vanessa will kind of help get it out through Remind and everything. But look for it for that week.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. So for other business not reasonably anticipated, so I guess the only thing I can think of is like for merchandise for the update. I know you guys all answered the Google Forms and it was like very split, but we ended up choosing the first one. But then we had an issue through like town guidelines. So we ended up picking the one with like the same font for both like the town and where it said youth council. Were there any other updates you wanted to make?
No, so thank you all for getting back, and yeah, I like the red too, but that's town has style guidelines, so we try to follow those style guidelines, so would you all, how would you like to get your sweatshirts when they come in? Do you want to wait till the next in person, or if you're want to pick it up by my office?
I think if we wait till next in person, it'd just be easier.
Okay.
I would say just if it would be able to
But some
come
of you
in.
might be doing presentations, so you can message me if you want it earlier. Or like, say Olivia's going to the police station for something, she might want to wear her youth council sweatshirt for that. So if there's anything where you have to be an official representation, wear your sweatshirt.
Mhm. And I could always like send out like on remind, like if you had like a certain like time or date, like, oh, within these times, like you could pick it up.
I
you
wonder if we
wanted.
could. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the other thing is too, if you're at the high school or the middle school and you want yours sooner, I could just drop it off in the main office for you with your name on it. So otherwise you can get it at the next meeting.
Mhm.
Okay. So, great.
Yeah, that sounds good. Was there anything else that we haven't discussed yet? No. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn today's meeting?
I motion.
I said.
Okay, I'm just gonna go down the list. Ahmed Othman,
Yes.
Ala Othman.
Yeah.
Juvia Manu,
Yeah.
Juliana Spalding,
Yes.
Madeline Naper,
Yes.
Maya Pollock,
Yes.
Paige Arkansas,
Yes.
Sadie Lomnack,
Yes.
and Thomas Baronato.
Yes.
Okay, that concludes today's meeting, and we'll see you at the next one. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.